Hello, my name is Dr. Laura Chasmer. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Geography and Environment at the University of Lethbridge. My research uses remote sensing, field measurements, and hydrometeorological instrumentation to understand vegetation changes over time and through space. I have operated and worked with airborne and terrestrial Lidar systems for almost 20 years, and during that time I have seen some impressive developments while working with my partners in the Artemis lab, Dr. Chris Hopkinson and Maxim Akramenko. Today, I'm going to provide a brief overview of some airborne LiDAR metrics that are useful for quantifying canopy and understory field properties in forests. These can be determined from point clouds in this mature forest or from interpolated attributes of the canopy envelope, point density, and understory seen here. Laser pulses reflect from the canopy understory structures before reflecting from the ground surface. LiDARs can measure ground surface elevation, which can also be interpolated into gridded products. Unlike optical remote sensing, the laser is able to penetrate through the canopy, and therefore the understory and ground surface characteristics are not occluded by overlying vegetation, as we can see from this boreal forest and peatland site. The density of laser returns at this site we surveyed south of Fort McMurray last summer provides very high spatial resolution 3D measurements throughout the canopy, including shrubs, black spruce trees, and variations in ground surface terrain. Let's first take a look at some of the terrain-based attributes that can be determined from elevation data. Here we see a 1 meter pixel resolution hillshade model derived from the elevation data from the same site south of Fort McMurray. This is a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer subset of a much larger area surveyed using the University of Lethbridge Titan multi-spectral Lidar. Topographic position, which indicates low-lying and upraised areas of the DEM, can indicate areas closer to the water table. The Titan LiDAR system also provides laser reception with 3 wavelengths, illustrated here where areas that are red to pink indicate areas of high shortwave infrared reflection associated with recent fire. Green indicate areas of high reflection in the green wavelength, and blue to green indicate reflection in both the green and near infrared associated with healthy vegetation. Absorption and reflection of shortwave infrared laser wavelengths is also associated with moisture characteristics of the ground surface. Notice the topographically low-lying areas are also associated with higher shortwave infrared absorption and moisture content at the time of the survey. Vegetation height can indicate areas of high fuels, and when combined with the solar input model, can provide spatiotemporal estimates of areas of radiation loading and drying. Let's look more closely at forest structural attributes that are useful for quantifying canopy bulk density, loading, and some understory fuels by looking at a mature conifer stand, A, and a mature hardwood stand, B, in Ontario. The LiDAR point cloud we can see here provides a lot of information on the canopy and understory structures. We could measure tree height, crown depth, understory and ladder fuels, crown separation, the height of the base of the crown. We can also differentiate stem density in some of the conifer stands. Just a couple hundred meters away, we can see the rounded shape of these maple trees. We can also measure tree height, the depth of the crown width. We notice that there's little understory in this stand. For some trees, we can approximate the base of the crown. In this forest, crowns are overlapping, therefore it is difficult to differentiate between individual trees. From these point clouds, we can derive other canopy attributes. We can also vertically slice through the interpolated point densities, illustrated here as we move from understory in reds and oranges up through to the top of the canopy in cooler greens to blue at 1 meter increments. The ratio of intercepted pulses to those that make it to the ground surface provides a simple estimate of canopy fractional cover, which compared well at over 100 hemispherical photoplots coincident with airborne LiDAR data collected at sites across Canada in the early to mid-2000s. Volumetric LiDAR data derivatives also compare well with allometrically derived and harvested dry biomass from trees, while PhD student Linda Flade has worked on expansion factors for shrubs and short tree biomass which are compared with time series LiDAR data collected in rapidly changing boreal permafrost environments in the Northwest Territories. To understand available fuels from LiDAR-derived biomass found within the canopy and understory, classification of vegetation species is also required. Here, Humera is using the Titan multi-spectral LiDAR to identify differences in structures and scattering characteristics in the near-infrared and shortwave infrared laser returns from deciduous shrubs and short to medium-height conifer tree species, which contribute to latter fuels. In addition to living fuels, the rate of laser pulse emission of airborne LiDAR systems is continuously advancing. While tree stems and branching structures of living trees may only occasionally be observed at the base of standing tree canopies, airborne LiDARs are able to measure fallen and leaning dead tree stems observed here a decade after fire. We can draw a narrow profile and extract the point cloud illustrating fallen and leaning trees. If we zoom in, we can see these fallen trees more closely as they are elevated above the ground surface and can be easily identified using artificial intelligence algorithms. If more detail is required, terrestrial laser scanning is a good alternative for quantifying understory ladder fuels. Here, Xiaojin developed deep learning methods to identify stem and branching structures. Based on the characteristics of these structures, he was able to accurately determine tree species and biomass for individual trees and at the plot level. By combining the variety of data derivative products from LiDAR, we will be able to quantify the spatial variability of available canopy and understory fuels and vegetation species within the landscape, topographic position, and the potential for moist to dry soils, and also areas of high radiation loading, which may increase drying at a snapshot in time. The goal is to use this information to evaluate how these impact weekly measurements from passive optical sensors. We can also use pre- and post-fire LiDAR data to understand vegetation structures and topographical conditions influencing burn severity, as Shineri has illustrated using this false color composite of LiDAR return intensities of the Horse River wildfire. Areas with the most severe burn are illustrated in dark red, which indicates high reflectance of the shortwave infrared. In the subset area prior to the fire, we can see areas of high canopy volume in green, while a shrubby fen between two arrows contains little tree and shrub biomass. After the fire, we see variable losses of biomass associated with topographically low-lying moist areas. In conclusion, LiDAR is a useful technology for measuring many important structural attributes of tree and understory canopies. While it does not measure all fire fuels, it is not greatly impacted by occlusion as optical imagery is. LiDAR data collections are costly, but can reduce reliance on extensive and expensive field programs, though field validation data should always be collected coincident with LiDAR data collections. LiDAR data and derivative products may improve our understanding of fire behavior if used as inputs into models. Finally, time series LiDAR data collections can be used to quantify changing vegetation structures and conditions over time and through space. I'd like to say a big thank you to our remote sensing and northern ecology group and to Canada Wildfire for their support.